Hey folks, Scott here, open-minded movie man, coming to you with another movie review. It's of the film Overlord, which came out November 9th. I saw this film at the very tail end of November. I saw it on Tuesday specifically, and the reason being is because on Tuesdays, Cinemark South Park Meadows has a $5 all-day, all-night prices. With tax, it's about $5.68, but either way, for the recent new movies that come out, it's always a good price. That's actually a pretty damn good price if you ask me. It's why I see a lot of movies on Tuesday. That's why I see a lot of movies on those days. If you can get where I'm going. But anyways, back to the film Overlord. It's actually a war horror film with a little bit of action sprinkled in. And overall, I thought it was a pretty solid, good flick. I think it used it does feel a little underwhelming because the trailer kind of makes it look like it's going to be, a great combination of horror and action combined. And we do get that, but we don't get as much as we anticipated. And in a way, it's maybe somewhat slightly disappointing. But other than that, I think whatever action and whatever horror elements that we got in there, I think it was done well. The characters are likable. I mean, are they the best characters? No, but you know what? They're likable characters. They're soldiers. They're sent in to, go on a mission to take out this church tower in Germany. And yeah, overall, it's very competently directed. I don't know what this director, Julius Avery, has done, but he was very confident in, setting up the shots, getting the very tense moments that are in the film very well. And getting the performance out of the actors, which I really am not familiar with. I mean, I would later find out that Wyatt Russell was the son of Kurt Russell. And I guess he's the son of Goldie Hawn, but I'm not sure. But anywho, he's definitely the son of Kurt Russell. And I think I can see a little bit of his father in him. And I definitely agree with Matt. Matt, a.k.a. Rambo Ralph for Life, really enjoyed this flick. And I agree with him. I think I can see a bit of his dad in Wyatt Russell. I don't know how well the film is doing, but I think they should definitely give some roles to his son. I think he has the potential to be maybe as good, maybe even better than his father. But then again, it's up to him how far he wants to go in life. And then you have the other cast members, which, well, I take it back. There was maybe one other cast member I recognize. It's the guy that played Fitz in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's Ian Day Castickers, or I don't know. We'll call him Ian. For the screen time he's in, he does fine. He plays the photographer Chase, who might be slightly annoying at times, but he's somewhat likable. He wants to get his shots. He wants to get all the action and all that good stuff. But anyways, and then the main lead character, Jovan Adipo, I guess is his name. I'm not really familiar with that actor, but for the role he was in, I thought he did fine. And then you also have a small appearance by Bokeem Woodbine as Sergeant Edison. But anyways, the main focus on this is the fact that it's basically a bunch of paratroopers from the army, basically sent in to go into Germany to take out this church tower. And then eventually the main lead character, finds out there's a hell of a lot more going on in the church than what is led to believed. And so as a result, it becomes more of pretty much a do or die mission for the characters. And overall, like I said before, the characters do fine. They're likable. I mean, they're not perfect, but it's basically soldiers trying to go in and do their job and accomplish this mission. And we get to see all sorts of crazy, creepy, freaky shit going on. I don't know what other films I can compare this to because I don't think I've seen enough of these types of films. But for what this was, it was very competently directed. It used the budget from what I understood, it's $38 million to its advantage. And it does have those moments where there's some fucked up things, like you see a head's on some kind of I don't know what it is, but it's still alive. It's moving, and you see a person in some kind of person or mutated person inside of a cocoon. And then I think you see dead bodies being dumped out from the underground. Some pretty fucked up shit is going on there, and it's messed up. But anyways, you also have this what's that guy's name? Captain Waffner, the guy who's the main villain. I'm not familiar with that actor, but for what he does, the main bad guy, he does pretty well. And the fact that eventually he gets he shows that he's one fucked up dude. Like, he tries to rape one of the girls that helps out the soldiers. Her name is, I guess, Matilde Oliver. Chloe is her name. She does fine in the role, and she ends up helping up these guys that guy Waffner, who kidnaps her younger brother. You know, they basically, like I said, it becomes a do or die mission because they got to not only take out the tower, but they got to make sure that these experiments or whatever is going on down there doesn't get out of hand and doesn't go haywire. So anyways, but basically there's some moments that are fucked up, like Chloe's aunt is messed up, probably from all the experimentation that the Germans have been doing on her. There was the moment whenever the main villain shoots Chase, and he sees that there's this little needle and the serum's in there. He doesn't know if Chase is going to live or die, so he decides to inject it into him. And for the moments, he's fine, but then you saw some unnatural things happen to him, like bones protruding, his body's becoming like all disconformed and everything. And suddenly you realize he's not really the same guy anymore. And our lead guy has tried shooting him, and it didn't work. And eventually he has to like bash his fucking skull in. And also for the practical effects, it's done very well for what you see. And then eventually it becomes like a life and death battle where they have to rescue Chloe's brother, since the main villain takes him, and he gets actually shot in the face. And then he tries to like heal himself, and it does heal him up, but his face is all fucked up, and he's even driven more insane. So anyways, but yeah, and there's actually there's a fight scene between Wyatt Russell's character, Corporal Ford. He does, like I said, Wyatt Russell does fine. I can definitely see a bit of Kurt Russell in him. And basically, they basically have this battle with Waffner, and so does the Boyce character, who's played by, like I said, Jovan Adipo. And it's a bit of a rough battle, but eventually he gains the upper hand. And then, because since Ford was wounded earlier from facing with Waffner and having to inject himself with the serum, and the fact that he had to pretty much match up to Waffner, and while Waffner ends up getting the upper hand, eventually he gets defeated by when they throw the gas can, and then Boyce shoots the cannon and sends Waffner flying out into a pit. And then eventually you see there's like more humans being experimented on, almost becoming zombie-like creatures, and eventually Ford does, spoilers, he eventually has to sacrifice himself and basically, being the ultimate hero in the end, get all the zombies, and he lets this flare, and eventually he blows himself up along with the rest of them. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the film. I saw it like 2 weeks ago, almost at most. So, but yeah, and then there's the tense moment where there's fire everywhere. And Boyce has to escape and get out of there, and eventually he does. He makes it. They also, and the people earlier, I believe Tibbet, who was helping, and then earlier when Boyce went in there in the church earlier to rescue another comrade of his. I don't remember his name. I think it was I guess it was Rosenfield. I'm not sure, but I could be wrong. But anyways, they all eventually find a way to get out of there, and there's a bit of a positive ending. Of course, Boyce denies anything else other than the fact that there was nothing in the tower, no experiments going on, and eventually they get assigned to a next mission, and that's pretty much it. Most of the characters they live. So does the girl and her little brother. And it's not a downbeat ending. It's a positive ending. It's not a sequel bait ending. Just got to move on and accomplish your next mission. Overall, pros and cons. I guess the cons, I wish they would have used the horror elements and the action elements to the best of their ability. I felt like it was a little underwhelming, because that's what the trailer made it sound like. There was going to be a great deal of horror, action, and of course you're using AC/DC's Hell's Bells in that trailer, for crying out loud. So I don't think they quite use it to the extent, but when it's there, it's used effectively. But there could have been a little more. It could have been something. And what else? Maybe some of the camera work could have been handled a little better. I mean, looking back, I guess the camera work, whenever you see the parachuter, I believe it's Boyce, you follow him and into the water, and it's done okay, I guess. And also, I kind of wish that Bokeem Woodbine's character wasn't killed off that early. Of course, he had he basically told the German troops to go fuck themselves, I think, if I remember correctly. Sorry, I'm gonna give myself some caffeine here. Oh, come on. There we go. But yeah, overall, the pros, all the characters are likable. They do a good job. They're not perfect, but, Ford is definitely a badass. He tries to handle the situations as best he can, and also when it's time to get tough and brutal, he's able to do that, and he's able to, face off against that villain and do everything he can. And I think Boyce, the lead guy, he does fine. He does the best he can. He actually is given something to do. He's able to rescue one of his comrades out. He's able to at least blow up the church tower and all that good stuff, I think. And also is able to defeat the main villain and all that good stuff. And yeah. So therefore, it's also competently directed. For the practical effects overall are done very well for what they are, and I think there's very little CGI used. And I think it's, like I said, they use the special effects very well to their advantage, and so yeah, it definitely has a non-downbeat ending. It's not sequel bait, and it's just a one-off type of film, I would imagine. So yeah, I think it does well in that department. So I don't know what else I can say, but it's definitely a solid flick. I think if it's still playing, definitely give it a chance. My rating, I guess, would be maybe 3.5 out of 5. For the entertainment value, maybe 4. Okay, anyways, I think it's going to do it for me. The next film I'm going to review is The Grinch. I might have a better memory of that. So, but yeah. Okay, that's going to do it for me, and I will see you guys in another movie review. Later.